Hi guys, welcome in if you're new, welcome back if you've been here before. I am Lisa and this is North Star Energy Healing. Today is Thursday, May 2nd, but whenever you are drawn to this reading, there will be a message in here for you. My readings are timeless unless my guides tell me otherwise. So this reading today, as you know, because you've seen the title, is about discernment, about listening to your gut, about feeling into red flags and such. And I have been questioning this for a couple of days now. I keep getting sort of being drawn back to that word discernment. Discernment, it keeps popping in everywhere all the time. And the whole thing started when I watched a documentary called, I think it was called Escaping Twin Flames. So I don't know if any of you have watched that documentary. It was very, very sad and very dark. These people that are preying on our quest for love and our quest for a soulmate, twin flame, so to speak, what they called it in their organization. And after I watched it, I was just trying to think to myself, how do people get sucked in and enamored by these things? And the answer that I was getting is that everybody wants to be loved and to find true love, and that we have been so conditioned to think about the Cinderella story or the Sleeping Beauty story or all these stories that made it seem like you would just meet this person and everything would just be magical and happy all the time and living in bliss. And, real relationships are not happy 24/7. Real relationships have challenges and whatnot. So anyway, that information, started to come in several days ago when I watched that. And then I follow lots of people on YouTube, and I started seeing a couple people that I have followed for a long time really pushing their merchandise, like almost like it was more important than whatever message they were getting out. Just I tuned in several times over the past couple months, and I'm like, this is just getting more and more. And then as I was listening or watching the person, I felt like they were really disconnected from the reading. I felt like they were going through the motions, but there wasn't a connection there. So that was my gut feeling. That was just, I was listening to either my gut feeling or my guides giving me a message like saying, hey, listen to that or look at that or notice this. So that's kind of how it happens. Like when you begin to notice something about another person or a situation or something that you're doing, when you start to notice those kind of questions that come up, that is your gut instinct. Those are your guides trying to give you information, because we have free will. So our guides can't necessarily come out and tell us what to do or what not to do. We have to learn discernment, basically. So, those were over the past, I would say, 4 days or 5 days, this topic has been, front of my mind. So I keep being given example after example after example that have happened in my own life, and how I use discernment. And this goes way back to the 80s when I was in California, and I was a young 23, 24-year-old from Maine who was pretty naive, and I got used by many people who borrowed money and didn't pay it back, and just all these things that happened to me because I was in a world that I didn't understand, that I didn't really grow up in. But one of the major things that happened was I was walking down the street one day, and there was this person standing outside of a place, and he had this book called Dianetics, and this goes with the what is that church? Scientology. I had no knowledge of this. And so he was like, oh, come on in and we can talk about this. He asked me a couple questions, and believe me, I don't remember. This was way more than 30 years ago. So I went in and I had this interview with this person who was asking me all kinds of questions about my childhood experiences and love and different things. And, so anyway, we went through this interview process, and I don't know if they were supposed to contact me or I them, but while I was in there, I was feeling like, oh, this sounds really good. After I left, my guides probably were like, no, that's not for you. Don't just steer clear of that. And they never called me. And years later, of course, lots of things came out about the Church of Scientology. And so I was like, wow, I was like saved from basically getting into that. So that was one thing. And then, and Spirit has given me these examples, so I'm going to give them to you. I watched one of my beloved channels, CJ's Soul Messages. I love her so much. And people were on there telling her that she rambles too much and they're not interested in that and they only want to hear about the cards. But you know what? As readers, we listen to our guides, and when our guides are giving us something, somebody needs that. So that's why we put it out there. Do I like talking about my mistakes in my life or things that have happened to me? Not necessarily. But if I can help somebody else, I'm going to do it. Okay? So there was this girl that I really, really wanted to be friends with, and this was when I was when I was about 20. And I just really thought, oh, if I could just be her friend, she's so perfect, she's this, she's that, and blah, blah, blah. And we did become friends. And I gave and gave and gave and gave in that friendship so much. Anything she needed, anything she wanted, I would drop what I was doing and drive to where she was. I would do all these things. And then eventually I bought my own home, and, I had invited her to come for dinner. Well, the first time she canceled. The second time she just never showed up or called me. And that was when I realized, okay, I'm being more of a friend to her than she is to me. Ironically, a few months before that happened, I had gone to her house for, I think it was a Mary Kay party, something. She's like, I have to have at least 3 people here. So, of course, I drove the hour to go there to be her third person so that she could, whatever. And while we were talking, she said, I had a dream the other night that my house was burning down and you were the only one that came to help me. And I'm thinking, well, that should be a sign that I'm a good friend, I guess. But anyway, I helped her move. I mean, there were so many things I did for her. Well, anyway, after that time that she didn't show up for dinner, I didn't contact her again, and I never heard from her. I was just like, okay, I was devastated. I was hurt by it. This was somebody that I had known for more than 10 years and had spent a lot of time with and helping. So I obviously didn't get the full red flag of it until she just didn't come. And this was very, very hard for me. I thought about this for weeks. I cried about it. I just was really hurt. But my guides just kept me from contacting her, or somehow they put the thoughts and ideas to me that no, you need to walk away. This is not good for you. And then probably 10 years after that, I had another friend that I worked with that I had just met. She had her things in storage in another state, like far away. And she couldn't find anybody to help her, and she was afraid to drive a U-Haul, so I volunteered, and I did it. And I went there, and I did this with her, and, it became clear to me the reasons why I was there, because I kept getting the song in my head, and I was like, I don't know this song. And when I told her, she said that was my deceased fiance's favorite song. So weird, but anyway, I was able to give her some sort of comfort and messages around that. Well, we stayed friends for probably a year or so, and I helped her in a lot of ways because she was a very whiny person. But my empathy, the way I am, I'm a nurturer naturally. I just kept helping and helping and helping. And then I was laid off from where we worked together, and I didn't hear from her at all. She never contacted me to see how I was. And about 6 weeks later, she came knocking on my door, crying and apologizing because she needed something. So luckily, my gut instincts, my guides, my red flags took over, and I was like, I'm sorry, I can't do that. And that was it. I never heard from her again. And I've also had people in my own family, somebody that's a distant cousin who is psychic, she does have gifts, used me to transcribe readings that she was doing for clients. And I did that for months and months and months with no, I didn't get paid or anything from it. And she never offered anything. And I did that. And then I started noticing that her readings, I didn't feel were genuine. My gut instincts took over. Things happened and I was like, I don't think she's connecting. I don't know. I can't explain it, but my gut took over. A couple other things transpired between us and I ended up having to cut off that relationship, which was really, really hard. Really hard. But I was hurt through those situations, but I know that my guides were helping me and saving me from getting deeper into something that wasn't good for my soul. That was basically, they were energy vampires, you can call them. So what, my guides want really strongly to help my followers with, if you are not already attuned to your gut instincts, but they're telling me in this up and coming digital age, all these things, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, I don't know, whatever, there's more, I can't think of it, Instagram and Rumble and all these things, it's going to become more and more and more important for us to be able to use our discernment, that we really need to tune in. If you are watching or listening to something and you just get a question in your mind or a feeling, it could be as strong as feeling like you've been kicked in the stomach. That has happened to me a couple of times where I felt physically ill because of something, and I knew that, okay, I need to get away from this. So they want to help us understand how important discernment is for our lifeblood. I don't know why they would give me that. Life's purpose, life's soul, to keep our connection pure. Okay, that's a good way of saying it. So to keep our connection pure, and to know, and to let in the positivity, the light, we have to keep our connection pure. We must use our discernment. We are empathetic. We can be sympathetic. And we can allow ourselves to get sucked into somebody's negative situations because we can't fix everyone. Everyone's on their own path. They have to do the work, like we do. Saint Josephine Bakita, release. Good one to get. So they wanted me to use the Saints and Mystics deck first to get an overview card. This is a number 8. This is Mastery and Infinity. Number 8. Release. Saint Josephine Bakita. Patron saint of Sudan and sacrifice. Okay, so let's see what our guides have for us today on discernment. Saint Josephine Bakita was a former child slave kidnapped from her home in Sudan by slave traders in the 1800s. As a child and teenager, Josephine was sold to a number of cruel and vindictive masters before ending up with an Italian vice consul named Callisto and his wife Turina, who eventually took her back with them to Italy. As Italy did not accept slavery, Bakita was declared a free woman, and she found solace in a home with the Canossian sisters, a religious order who introduced her to the service and spirituality of their god. Bakita translates to fortunate in Arabic. She took the name Sister Josephine and lived out her days caring for the sick and suffering with gratitude and peace. Josephine was declared a saint in 1992 by Pope John Paul II and is the only saint from the country of Sudan. So let's break this down. So she escaped, slavery, basically, because somebody came along and rescued her, okay? So they took her back to Italy, but they let her live her life. Okay. So in this case, Saint Josephine was released from slavery, and then the people who rescued her released her to live her own life, right? So release is something that's really important when it comes to how much can we do for a person. We have to sometimes release them and let them go on their own. We can help people, yes, but we can't get sucked dry. We need to be alert, I'm hearing, and we need to pay attention when we're getting messages from our guides. So let's see. Emotionally, she encourages all who call her to continue even when times are difficult and bleak. She urges us to let go of bitterness and find forgiveness in ourselves and others. Suffering is tremendously painful, but through sacrifice and transformation, freedom is possible. So when we're in these situations, we need to find a way to forgive the person because they just don't know. I'm hearing they know not what they do, okay? So when people are drawn to us because of our light, because of the work that we do, they are not probably maliciously trying to use us. They just see the light and the love in us and they're attracted to it. But then when it gets to a certain point, we need to use our discernment to let those ones go. We can help to a certain point, and then we have to let them go. All right, they're drawing me to the wisdom of the oracle now. Okay, so remember, we want to be able to release, okay? The other thing is, I am not bitter about those people that I released. At the time, I was very hurt. I wasn't angry. I was just hurt that people that I cared about cared so little for me. So I'm just not the type of person who carries anger. I just don't. I can't explain it. I've never been like that. I'm just not. I'm always hurt by a situation more than angered by it. Even when people hurt me, I can't. I don't know. Anger just seems like it is not even in the realm of of my guys, my spirit, my soul. Okay, so discernment. What does the wisdom of the oracle? Okay, between worlds. Yeah, we had this is so funny. I've only used this deck a few times, and this card has come out, I think, 3 different times. This is you've got 1 foot in one place and 1 foot on a banana peel. Like, which way am I going? This is a 3. This is creation, collaboration, and the Holy Trinity. Let's see. Between worlds. Okay. The essential message here is transitions, not being quite out of one situation and fully engaged in another. Temporary blindness and sort of in a no man's land. And this can happen to us when we're not listening to our gut. It can also happen to us when we're sucked into a situation that we don't belong in. It's like we're in the black and white of it. We're not seeing the full situation. We don't want to get stuck between these worlds of helping or being used, right? That's kind of where this discernment is coming in. We need to transition out of that, right? We need to be able to disconnect and release that situation, okay? Mostly discernment is going to be used with people, but it can be, absolutely can be a situation, like a work situation or something like that. Now, people always ask me, how do you know? This is the hardest thing to explain. I usually get like a twinge in my stomach area, my solar plexus area. I get a twinge like, and then it makes me stop and think. And then it makes me start to analyze what is it I'm feeling? What's the message? Sometimes it takes longer than that. It's a little bit harder than that. It basically goes from a twinge or a thought to a red flag, which is something really bad happening. I'm trying to think of an example, Spirit. What would be, you see somebody do something, okay, so they're giving me one. Thank you so much, Spirit, for giving me this. I was horseback riding or about to go horseback riding with somebody. And this person was putting a bridle. She was getting ready to put a bridle on the horse. And the horse had its head down. And she wanted to pick the horse's head up. I didn't see the entire thing. But the horse brought its head up really quickly and basically hit her in the chin. And she got so enraged that she punched the horse in his forehead. When I saw that, I got the kicked in my stomach, sick to my stomach feeling, and I was in shock. I was in total shock. I couldn't believe that happened. It took me a few minutes to recover. This card flew right out. When I recovered, I think I said something like, maybe we shouldn't go riding today. And she acted like nothing happened. She was like, no, it's fine. It's fine. Well, come on, get your saddle on and this and that. I felt so terrible during that ride. All I could think of was sending my love to that horse. I was so stunned. And so I don't think I went riding again after that. With her because of so that is a huge red flag. That is a huge something happening. Had I had signs about this person previously, not about that with the animals, but about other things. Yes, I had. And I didn't listen. So I guess I needed to be there at that moment when that happened to realize, okay, this is not a good connection for me. So there's an example of something drastic kind of that can happen. If I had listened to my gut instincts previously, I never would have been there and had to see that, right? Okay. Discernment. All right, so we have the Nine of Swords. This flew out as I was telling you that story. That is exactly how I felt. The worry, anxiety. I just couldn't get it out of my head for a long, long time. And when we get into this is our huge red flag, my guides are saying. So when you are in worry and anxiety about a person or a situation, this is a huge red flag for you. There are two things that you can do about it. You need to use your discernment to figure out, am I worried? One worry and anxiety can be, I don't know if I'm going to have enough money to pay my bills. One worry and anxiety can be, I said that I would go with my friend to this place, but I really don't want to. Okay. Not paying your bills, that is a worry that you can dismiss and get out of. Getting worried about going somewhere or doing something with somebody, this is one of those huge red flags. This is one of your warning signs. Okay? So you need to use your discernment about how you can get out of that situation. Okay? I hope this is making sense. This is what my guides are giving me for examples. All right. Four of Wands. This is stability or stagnation. This is a happy family. This is what you've created as stability, okay? So your stability, they're giving me, can be rocked when you get, they're showing me this person getting sucked out of this happiness because somebody is interfering with that. So let me see if I can get more. Okay, Spirit, what are you trying to show me? So, all right. You have a really happy home and a husband that you trust and love. You start hanging around or hanging out with somebody or doing something, and he's telling you, I don't know, I don't have a really good feeling about her. I don't know, are you sure that you want to do this? Okay, this is your guides giving you a message, the universe, spirit, whatever, to really analyze and think about the situation, okay? Because now I'm not saying that every time somebody says that it's going to be the wrong thing. Boy, discernment is a tough one. I have another example. When I was in high school, I was hanging out with this girl. She was a really fast, way more mature than I was. My mother tried to give me a few hints about, well, are you sure that you want to? And I was defiant. But I can tell you, without a doubt, in my gut, I knew that I shouldn't be hanging around with her. It ended up in me calling in sick at my job because she would tell me to, and then I lost my job. Okay, so this is, you got stability, you got happiness, some person or some situation comes into it. It could be your husband or your wife saying, honey, do you really think that you should spend 3 hours a day on TikTok? I mean, is that really good for you? And, I'm not saying it is or it isn't, but I'm trying to give you other examples. It could be a person. It could be a thing you're doing that is detrimental to the bliss that you have in this stability, okay? And we have, again, another 4, the 4 of Pentacles. All right, this is knowing when to keep things to yourself. This is knowing when and what to share and give. This means your time, your money, your energy, okay? So in this card is typically read with, are you going to share what you have or close the box? All right? So this is discernment. What can you share that will still keep you healthy? All right? What can you share? How much can you share? How much can you do while not overdoing or oversharing or overcaring or over nurturing? Or we really need to keep our fingers on the pulse of our own soul, okay? So using that discernment, remember it could be a twinge in your gut, it could be your mind with a question, or it could be a huge red flag telling you to stop. Now, there have been times when I haven't paid attention to my red flags and I regret it. I mean, I don't like to have regrets. Let's say I learned a lesson, okay? Every challenge has taught me a lesson. 10 of Cups. When you tune in to your gut and make these discernments, you will have this 10 of Cups. You will be emotionally healthy and emotionally happy. Cups are emotion. With this card today, they're telling me emotional happiness. We need to tune into our emotional meter, right? Saint Josephine, we need to release those people once we've helped as much as we can. We need to forgive, send them on their way with love, right? We need to make sure that we're not between worlds. Meaning your soul knows that this is the right way to go, but somebody is sort of pulling you a little bit this way. So you're saying, well, okay, maybe I can just do a little bit of this, but I can still keep my beliefs and my integrity, but I can do a little bit of this, okay? Don't be between worlds, right? Keep on your soul's journey and your soul's path, okay? The 9 of Swords, the monkey mind thinking, the anxiety, the worry. Remember the 2 different ones. A worry that's kind of just a normal, I would say, worry about paying your bills or, I don't know, getting to work on time, something like that, versus a real anxiety about a person or a situation that is giving you a lot of fear. Fear is a good red flag, right? Fear. If you feel fear in your gut, okay? And then that 4 of Wands, stability, and who or what is kind of pulling you away and out of that bliss, all right? So discerning that. And granted, sometimes we might have to tell our husband or our wife or our good friend, no, this is okay. I still feel good about it. I'm okay right now. But, thank you for bringing that up. I will keep it in mind and I will pay attention, all right? To that 4 of Pentacles, knowing how much to do for a person, how much to share with a person, how much to give to an organization, how much to buy in to a person on YouTube or Rumble or TikTok, right? Don't get lost in somebody else's path they're giving me. Stay on yours, right? And then you will have emotional health, right? Emotional health. Wow. Okay. This was totally unexpected. It unfolded in a way that I wouldn't have expected it to. I'm really surprised by this. This is really giving me some good things to think about, and I hope it's also giving you some things to think about in your life. Are there things that you kind of have a twinge in your gut? Are there things that you've been getting signs that maybe you need to stop doing, or stop hanging out with that person, or stop going to this place, or stop watching this thing? Definitely if you're, what are they telling me? Oh, they're saying guru. If there's somebody that you think is your guru, stop and think about it. Have discernment about it. And I don't know why they're saying guru. I don't know if somebody out there is about to go or pay for something that isn't the right thing, and they kind of feel that it isn't, but they're holding out hope that it will be. Oh my goodness, Spirit. Okay. All right. They directed me to this gold foil deck for a couple of more cards. And then we're going to wrap it up. We're not going to go too long with this today. But I hope that this has given you something to think about. If there's any subject that you would like me to read or channel on, please just bring it up. I will ask my guides about it, and they'll tell me if that's okay, that's the second time that 2 have come out. 2 of Swords, that's choice and strength. Wow, fantastic. All right, so 2 of Swords, you always have a choice, but you see how she or he has a blindfold on? You cannot make the right choice if you're not seeing the whole picture. You've got to be willing to take the blinders off, to take the blindfold off, and look at the entire picture. Maybe even talk with a trusted friend about the situation and see what they think about it, okay? Strength. You have the inner strength for discernment, okay? You can discern right from wrong, good from bad. You know what's right for your soul. You can feel it. I promise you, you can feel in. Just take a moment to feel into it. Think about the person or the situation, and what is your gut saying? What is your gut making you feel about the situation? I guarantee you'll get some sort of message. Ask your guides, ask the archangels, ask your guardian angel. Just take a moment to think about the situation, okay? Especially if some of you have something that you've been questioning recently. And I'm really feeling like that's why they led me to do this reading on discernment, because somebody out there has been questioning something they're about to do or something they're currently doing, somebody that they're with, somebody they're following. There's something for someone. Okay. Animal spirit guides. So my guide, Justin, the medieval guy who has a hawk, Landau. What animal can be helpful to these whose reading this is? Also, I never said at the beginning, this is a general reading and it may not resonate with all of you. I'm sorry, I should have said that in the beginning. If it doesn't resonate, that's okay. It's not your message. I think we could all use a message about discernment, that's for sure. Okay, any other card for this? Any other card for this discernment reading for those that this is their message? Any other card? Okay, Hawk. Oh, thank you, Landau. All right, so the first card out was Dog, Friend. Today I will love without condition. My energy and enthusiasm are an inspiration. I choose to be happy. I am a protector and friend. Okay, so what my guides are giving me is that somebody out there has a friend or knows somebody who is in a situation that they think that friend should not be in. This is difficult. It's really hard to sometimes tell somebody, look, you're being sucked in by this. This probably isn't for you. But that's what they're giving me with this. The only thing that you can do is love that person unconditionally and try to be an inspiration to them. Love them through it, okay? I am a protector and a friend. Be there for them if whatever this is, doesn't work out. You can give your opinion gently and ask your guides, how do I talk to this friend of mine about this situation? Please help me, give me the right words. Okay, you can ask your guides for that. And then hawk, messenger. Spirit is sending you messages. Open your greater vision to see the signs. This is what this whole reading has been about. Thank you, Spirit. Oh my gosh, I'm so lucky and blessed. Focus on priorities and eliminate distractions. You have a bright future. Let yourself ascend to new heights, right? Listening to your gut, listening to your guides, and tuning in. Okay. I truly, truly hope that this message has been helpful. I hope it has opened your eyes in some way. I hope that it has been beneficial. That is why I do this, to help, okay? So remember, take the blinders off. Look at the situation. Use your inner strength. Be that loving, loyal friend. Be a messenger. Listen to your messages, okay? Release and forgive. Don't be between worlds. Stay on your own path, okay? That 10 of Cups emotional happiness depends on you staying on your path, okay? Peace and kindness every single day. I love you all.